So, no matter what you have thought about yourself, how you thought you failed, how disappointed you are, how you're not living up to the mom you want to be, I want you to hear me say that this last 3 weeks, all of the steps I've taken you through have given you an opportunity to observe without being a victim to, but observe what your inner survivor is doing to function, what she's doing to keep you going. So you've gotten to look at, how does she show up? How often is she showing up compared to this other part of me, the intentional part? How much of my attention is going to just surviving? And I'm not talking about putting food on the table or keeping the lights on. I'm talking about your inner survivor that survives big, scary emotions, that survives a feeling like she's failing. So, how do you feel when you recognize that your inner survivor is the one calling the shots, is the one parenting, is the one pushing through her task list for the day? How have you felt when you've recognized, and I do want to hear it, so put it in the comments. How have you felt when you've recognized that that was my inner survivor showing up? Now, who is your inner survivor? She's the one that is in fight or flight mode. She's the one who is trying to maintain a shred of control. She is trying to stay safe. So if she yells at your kids, if she criticizes a partner, if she spins out and spirals out and blows up, the reason why she's doing that, and I just want to invite you to appreciate this for a minute, she's doing it to feel in control because she is truly not in control of herself. She's doing it to feel like she's enough because she is programmed to feel like not enough. She is doing it to feel worthy of all of the abundance around her. Beautiful children, a beautiful home, a life where everything is really taken care of, where there is more than enough. She's doing it to prove her worth or to strive to feel like she is worthy or to justify that she has value. She's doing these things, these lower vibrational coping skills, these strategies that are kind of ugly or have been uncomfortable to see. She's doing those things to numb out. She is unplugging, scrolling, drinking wine, whatever, smoking weed, whatever your pleasure is for disconnecting. She's doing that to survive. And she's numbing out to survive. And why is she really doing that? So the purpose of walking you through this today is to help you shift the way that you're looking at your inner survivor. Okay, we can't solve it in a challenge like this when we're not working directly together. That's for later. But what I can invite you to do, and it's up to you if you do it or not, is what if instead of looking at her, your inner survivor, who gets angry, who isolates, who whatever, yells at the kids, with disdain, instead of looking at her with disdain or with anger or with disappointment or by collapsing into guilt, instead of spinning and blaming someone else for why you're doing these things, what if instead of that, you look at her as a fighter, as an overcomer, as a survivor? No, we haven't fixed yet what's in the way. We haven't resolved it yet. We haven't done the rewiring and reprogramming work yet. However, in this moment, what you have available to you is to shift how you look at her And what that does is it takes you from resistance to what actually is, and how messy it is, into a softening or an opening into appreciation. Appreciation. We all have an inner survivor, and she is amazing, and she is brilliant, and she is a genius for coming up with ways to function, ways to stay grounded, or ways to come back to being grounded, ways to keep functioning and doing the business of life day after day after day since you were a little kid. So let's appreciate why she grasps for control, why she self-soothes by dissociating, why she argues for her worthiness, why she yells when people don't hear her. She needs to be heard. She wants to be heard. The reason why she's doing it in these ways that are not giving you the result you want is because she is unable, or hasn't yet resolved, the patterns, underlying patterns, trauma patterns that are causing all of this discomfort. Does that make sense? So if you have a sense, I see with moms all the time. I can't see your comments, you guys, so drop me some comments. But a lot of moms who have come to me for help resolving underlying trauma patterns will have a pattern that says, there's not enough time. There's never enough time. I can't do what I want to do because I feel I have no control over time. It's all going somewhere else. I'm not doing anything I want to do. If I did have the time, then everything would be better. And what we find is that it's never about the time. It's actually about the pattern of not enoughness. So that comes from your root. That comes from your root of feeling not connected, not supported, not enough, not owning or knowing even what it means to own your value, right? So, oh gosh, I see you guys are commenting, but I'm not able to see. Darn. I just saw a little notice that you are commenting. Facebook is a little bit moody sometimes, and it's happening right now. I'm not sure. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll check back when I can see your comments. And comment on your comments. Answer any questions. You can drop your questions there. Okay, where was I? So, not enoughness and not enough time. So, one of the things that we find is that if you have an early life trauma, and trauma is anything where you perceive that you're in trouble, basically. When you're a little kid, you feel out of control because you're vulnerable, you're tiny, someone yells, it scares the bejesus out of you. You feel like your life is in danger because, it feasibly could be at any point when you're that small. And then that gets unresolved, that like pattern grows, it takes up space. We know now trauma carries through generations in the DNA. So it may not even be yours. There's all kind of funky things that can happen. This kind of trauma pattern then takes up space in our thoughts. Then it creates our relationships. Then it informs how we parent and what scares us and how much control we feel like we need and how much we need to or can't stand having a feeling, how much we can't stand feeling things. So we're always running from our feelings, or how much we can't tolerate a child's big unwieldy feelings. And that becomes overwhelming because we don't have our own sense of clarity about our own patterns. Okay. So it is your survivor's job to keep you going. It is your inner survivor's job to wake up every day, get the stuff done of the day, go to bed at night without dying. And it's your inner survivor's job as a mom to keep your kids alive. At a very primal level, Your inner survivor is just always watching out for the threat. So you may have what's called hypervigilance. You may feel always on edge. You may feel hyper alert. Sometimes this gets mistaken as or misinterpreted as highly sensitive person, HSP. You may feel you're highly sensitive. You can't stand the noise. You may feel you have ADHD. You can't ADD. You can't focus. And it's really just trauma survivor identity. That's all it is. So if your instinct says that, you're probably right about that. Trust yourself. So the reason why an inner survivor keeps repeating patterns is simply because she is trying to turn down the discomfort and she's trying to make it go away so that she can read the signs that she's okay in that moment, whether that's what do you call it? Eating your feelings, whether that's literally like eating sugar to kind of numb out and dissociate, or whether it is yelling to blow off steam at someone. Is I can't stand this feeling. I can't tolerate this feeling. So I just need to get it out. Right. And then we go, it's your fault. You made me do that. Oh, if you wouldn't have done this, then I wouldn't have done that. And then the relationship damage is done. Then you feel terrible. Then it's, oh my God, the hangover, the regret, the whatever. And the reality is that that will keep happening until your inner survivor is not needed to function all the time. So her job is not about healing. It's not about resolving root cause. That's not her job. Her job is keep you going. She is not about having peace. She's not about having healthy connection and closeness and gentle parenting. You've probably already noticed that one. She is not about thriving in your relationships or you thriving in your health. Her job is to keep you alive. So when that trauma is resolved, to look at the flip side, there is space for all of the things you want. There is space for joy, dance parties, connection, laughter, playfulness, creativity, spontaneity. There's space for seeing the best in someone. There's space for lifting up someone else, your children, a friend, your partner. There's space for transforming a marriage. There is spaciousness inside of you, your body, your mind, and guess what changes right away? Oh my God, it's so weird. It seems like I have plenty of time to do whatever I want now. We hear it all the time in Awakened Motherhood and have a collective giggle about this. And they go, I remember when you told me that, I just thought you were full of it. I just thought that's never going to change. Unless I quit my job, I'm never going to feel like I have enough time. And it's just not true. Time is a perceptual thing. And when we shift how we reside in our bodies, in our belief systems, when we resolve trauma and we go, there's always more than enough. I know I'm enough. Guess what shifts? Plenty of time, abundance of connection with our kids, sweetness, love, warmth, safety, right? All these things are available and they're available now, but your inner survivor is like, nope, I can't do that. I can't talk about that. I can't even believe that. I feel like it's all not even possible for me. I'm just a survivor and my upbringing was so awful and I have multiple complex trauma and I have an anxiety diagnosis and I have had major depressive episode and I have had all these things or whatever. And so that's not available for me. I just have to sign up for a life of struggle and survival because that's all that's available to me. Now listen, if you've been believing that, then it is true for you and has been true for you. So I'm not here to disprove that. If you believe in that and you buy into it, it is going to be your story as long as you hold that, as long as you agree to that, as long as you support that idea, as long as you look for evidence that that idea is true for you, it will be and remain true for you. But in the very moment that you decide, you know, I'm kind of done with that. I'm done with struggle. I'm ready to invest in what I do want instead of investing in what I don't want. And I'm going to say that again because it's everything. If inside of you, there's a part of you piping up that goes, I'm feeling so done, so sick of my own beep, as I say with my kids. I'm feeling so sick of my own stuff that instead of investing in what I don't want, which is surviving, I want to invest in what I do want, in peace and stability. I want to invest in feeling happy, darn it, every day. I want to feel like I am enough and what I bring to my life is enough. And then everyone in my life can shift into appreciating that about me. Because, spoiler alert, that is what happens. That is a very natural and organic outcome of my 12-week intensive with moms. And we don't have to try. People don't have to try at that. It's not something that you create, your kids appreciating you, respecting your home more, your partner really hearing you more. We don't have to create that outside. We create in here the enoughness, the value, the ownership, the love, the coming from a place of being rooted and grounded into your own goodness, your own greatness. And everyone else shifts. It is miraculous to see. It is miraculous to be a guide and a part of that, a teacher and a guide of that. So what I want you to know is, and I want you to go through your day. Are we on 22? Challenge post. So there's that and there's this. There's a prayer that I wrote for you, intention, affirmation, whatever you want to call it, in the day 22 post. And I want you to close your eyes, take a moment, connect with that. If it helps, you can put a hand over your heart. Tune out everyone else around you. Tune in to your own energy when you do this. And say those words on repeat to yourself. We are opening up to appreciating your inner survivor. She has done the very best that she could do with what she knew how. With all the patterns handed down to you, with all the programs you grew up in, with all the cultural belief systems and projections and implications and expectations and all the mess of things that are not yours, and you really didn't even consciously say yes to them, but they're in there. Man, that's so frustrating. You've seen that now, and now I want you to just appreciate, I know you're not about threat, you're about surviving, and you have accomplished that. If you're here and you're hearing me and you're listening to this, she has done her job. She has done her job. You are here. You are engaging, and now there's a part of you rising up that says, and I want more. I want more. I want connection. I want laughter every day. I want joy. I want passion. I want purpose. I want commitment in my life. I want to show up for me in a way that I never have before. And this is what it looks like when I do that. I am preparing for a new outcome in my life to be born. And we're laying the foundation now. So if you can do that, if you can connect with a part of you that can meet yourself right where you are and speak to and call out your inner survivor and just say, I see you. If you're able to, thank you. If that's too much, just, I see you. If you're able to, I'm grateful for you and thank you. I'm so thankful that you've gotten me here. And that's the tone of this. The tone is, thank you so much for being here with me and for getting me here. This hasn't been easy, and I appreciate you and I thank you. And once you've done that, you can start to kind of separate yourself from these energetic patterns, trauma patterns that are energetic, that are just perpetuating themselves in a big old negative feedback loop that have been handed down generation to generation, that you were handed, that you're handing to your daughter or your son, and just go, wow, now I can see that for what it is. Now I can see that, and without beating myself up for it, I can go, wow, that is a trauma pattern. Now you have some space to make a choice. Now you can go, wow, I've been buying into that. I've been investing into that. I have been spending energy, time, probably money, with all these crutches or band-aids or whatever, just trying to survive this as a survivor. Now I have a choice. I can either invest in what the problem is and perpetuating that, or I can look over here and I can go, wow, would I like to invest in something different, in a solution-oriented life, in either resources or support or commitment or whatever it looks like for you, the resolution of this trauma. And as you guys know, I'll share more with you this week, but this is exactly what I'm doing in my 12-week intensive program with moms. And we work in 3 different areas over 12 weeks that up-level you. We start with up-leveling you into stable, secure, calm. So you have this really firm foundation and the trauma pattern doesn't have a hold on you anymore. Then we do the deeper work. We dive into the emotional patterns, the mental belief system patterns, the energetics of that, and we're really upgrading you out of those trauma patterns. We're dissolving what's no longer working for you. And then in that final phase, we're bringing it all into this gorgeous ripple effect, which when you're stuck in a trauma pattern is a lot of negative feedback from your kids and from your partner or spouse. When we heal those layers and then you upgrade your communication strategies from a place of I matter and my needs matter, and knowing how to, like, we bring out that sort of that confidence and leadership piece in our clients. When you get to own that identity of I do know what's best for my kids, I do know what everybody needs, then everything on the outside starts to shift, and it's really like dominoes falling. It's a beautiful, beautiful ripple effect. So I want to go ahead and invite those of you. We've got posts left for the rest of this week. And as well, I'm going to pop back in to answer any questions that come up. I want you to really dig deep this week and pull up what are those questions you want answered. This is your chance. And then if you want to go ahead, get on my calendar. I do have some spots available right now. It's not very many, but go ahead and get on my calendar for your free clarity call / consultation. And we're going to break down what's been coming up for you in this event and what do you need. And once we can see exactly what the problem is for you and where you're stuck, which is part of the assessment process, then in that conversation, I can let you know if what's going on for you is, like all of my clients, a problem that I can help you solve. If it's not, I'll be honest with you. I'll give you another resource. I can refer you to someone else. And you'll get a lot of value out of the consultation either way. But if you are thinking like, ugh, I don't even want to like wait another week, I want to dive in and get busy on feeling better now, then absolutely don't wait. Just go ahead and get on my calendar now. And I look forward to talking with all of you who are ready for your next up level.